In just about every home, there's a silent threat. It's not a gas leak or a problem with the wiring. No, it's something we see and touch and even enjoy every single day. It's hiding right there, in plain sight. For so many of us, our dogs, they're not just pets, are they? They are family. We share our lives, our homes, and sometimes we share our food with them. But it's in that simple, loving act of sharing that this danger quietly reveals itself. Just take a second and really think about that question. Picture your kitchen in your mind right now. The fruit bowl on the counter, the pantry full of snacks, the leftovers from dinner sitting in the fridge. Right there, within arm's reach, there are probably a dozen things that could cause your best friend unimaginable pain or worse. Now, this isn't about being a bad owner. It's simply about what we don't know. And today, we're gonna fix. It's a painful irony, isn't it? Those big, trusting eyes look up at you while you're eating, begging for just one little bite. And in a moment of pure love, you give in. You toss them a piece of your steak, a grape, a lick of ice cream. You do it because you love them. But what you don't realize is you could be handing them poison. This whole explainer is built on one truth. To really love our dogs, we have to learn how to protect them. And sometimes that means protecting them from our own kindness.
All right, let's get into it. We're going to take a walk through your home, starting right in the kitchen. First, we'll talk about why sharing our food is so risky for them in the first place. Then we'll look at the sneaky dangers in so-called healthy fruits and vegetables. After that, we are opening the pantry door to find the poisons hiding in there. We'll cover the risks of table scraps, find some household hazards you've probably never even thought about. And then, most importantly, we'll give you a simple plan to become your dog's ultimate protector.
So why is it that we can enjoy a bar of dark chocolate, but it could be fatal for them? Why are grapes a healthy snack for you, but a potential death sentence for your dog? Well, the answer is all in their biology. See, dogs are just wired differently than we are. Their metabolisms, their digestive systems, they're not built to handle the same foods. Things that our bodies process without a second thought can build up in their system, become toxic, and start shutting down their vital organs. What nourishes us can quite literally destroy them. Okay, let's move on to a group of foods that honestly feels the most unfair. These are the healthy ones, the all-natural stuff we're always told to eat more of. But you have to understand, in a dog's world, natural does not always mean safe. We're gonna start with a very popular fruit, a superfood for us, but a serious threat to our dog. Avocados. They contain a toxin called persin. Now for us, it's totally harmless. But for a dog, it can cause a terrifying situation where fluid starts to build up in their lungs and their chest. Just try to imagine your dog struggling for every single breath, their body filling with fluid. It's a nightmare. And it's not just the fleshy part. The pit is actually a double whammy. It has even more of the toxin, and it's a massive choking hazard that can easily block their intestines.
All right, here's a question that every single dog owner absolutely needs to know the answer to. I want you to think of small, sweet fruits. The kind you might eat by the handful. They seem so harmless, right? But these two are responsible for one of the most severe and sudden toxic reactions a dog can have. Do you know what they are?
The answer is grapes and raisins. And what's crazy is that scientists still don't know exactly what it is in them that's so toxic, but we know what it does. For some dogs, just a single grape can be enough to cause sudden, total kidney failure. You have to watch for the signs. Your dog might get really tired, really depressed. They might start drinking a ton of water, but then, and this is the key, they stop peeing or only pee a tiny bit. That's a huge red flag that their kidneys are shutting down. It's a true medical emergency. Now let's talk about rhubarb. That tart plant we use in pies and desserts. Well, rhubarb has something in it called oxalic acid. For a dog, this stuff is just brutal. It attacks their kidneys and can make them fail. And the symptoms, they're horrific. We're talking about nonstop drooling, violent tremors, shaking their entire body, and even blood in their urine. It is an absolutely agonizing experience for them. And one more for this section, the summer peach. Now, the fleshy fruit part is usually okay in small bits, but the pit, that hard stone right in the middle, that is a completely different story. It contains a substance that, when it's chewed or broken, actually degrades into hydrogen cyanide. Yes, that cyanide, the well-known poison. And on top of that, the pit itself is a huge choking hazard and can cause a deadly blockage in their intestines. The danger isn't always the part we eat. Okay, we are now moving from the fruit bowl into the pantry. This is where we keep all our cooking staples, our snacks, our baking supplies, and some of the worst poisons for our dogs are just sitting there on the shelf, waiting for a curious dog to find them.
Let's start with the base of so many of our favorite meals: garlic, onions, chives, and leeks. They all contain a compound called thiosulfite. A dog's body simply can't process it, so it gets into their bloodstream and starts to destroy their red blood cells, which causes severe anemia. And what's really sneaky about this one is that the symptoms can take days to show up. So you might share a little bit of your dinner on Monday and not notice your dog is weak and tired until Thursday or Friday. It makes it really hard to connect the dots. All right, I need you to listen very, very closely to this next one. This could honestly save your dog's life. There is a common ingredient found in thousands of sugar-free products that is way more toxic to dogs than chocolate. In fact, it's one of the most deadly poisons they can possibly eat, and you almost certainly have it in your home right now. The answer is xylitol. This artificial sweetener is in everything: sugar-free gum, mints, candy, some peanut butters, baked goods, even toothpaste. In humans, it's fine, but in dogs, it tricks their body into releasing a massive flood of insulin. This causes a sudden, catastrophic drop in their blood sugar. It leads to weakness, confusion, seizures, and collapse. And even if they get through that, it can cause their liver to fail days later. You must always check the label for xylitol. And the list of pantry dangers just keeps going. Let's run through these. First, chocolate. It's the most famous one, right? It's got theobromine, which their bodies can't handle, and it leads to seizures and internal bleeding. Next, unbaked yeast dough. This one is terrifying. The dough can actually rise inside their warm stomach, causing incredible, painful bloating, while it also produces alcohol, leading to poisoning. Then you've got macadamia nuts. These can cause a really scary temporary paralysis. And finally, something as simple as salt. Too much from things like chips or pretzels can lead to salt poisoning, which causes tremors and seizures.
And now we come to one of the most common ways dogs get sick from our food: clearing our plates. You know, those leftover bits of fat, the bone from a T-bone steak. Giving these to your dog feels like a nice treat, right? But really, it's like letting them walk through a minefield. Let's clear up a really big point of confusion: bones. The major danger is specifically with cooked bones. Cooking changes their structure, makes them dry and brittle. So when a dog chews on a cooked bone, it doesn't grind down, it shatters into sharp little daggers. These shards can cut their mouth and throat, or worse, they can travel down and actually puncture the stomach or intestines. That is an incredibly painful, life-threatening emergency that requires major surgery. I mean, who can resist the smell of bacon cooking? Our dogs sure can't. They are hardwired to go after high-fat, salty foods like bacon, ham, or the fat you trim off a steak. They'll gulp it down in a heartbeat if they get the chance. The problem is, their bodies just can't cope with that sudden, massive hit of fat. All of that can trigger a condition called pancreatitis. And believe me, this is a nasty one. It's a severe and intensely painful inflammation of the pancreas. The organ gets so inflamed it basically starts to digest itself. It leads to nonstop vomiting, diarrhea, and terrible abdominal pain. This is not just a little upset stomach, it's a serious medical emergency that usually means a hospital stay with IV fluids and intensive care. That one piece of bacon just isn't worth it. So our job as protectors doesn't stop at the kitchen door. The dangers are actually all over our homes, and often in places we'd never even think to look. We're going to broaden our view now to include things that aren't even food, but that are still a huge risk to a curious dog. Just look at this number: 8 milliliters of pure alcohol per kilogram of your dog's body weight. That is a terrifyingly small amount. For a 22-pound dog, that's less than a single shot glass of alcohol, and it can be enough to kill them in as little as 12 hours. And we're not just talking about a spilled beer. Think about perfumes, mouthwash, some cleaning products. A dog licking up a small spill could get a fatal dose. And the list keeps going. Think about that coffee cup you left on the end table. Caffeine is a powerful stimulant that can jack a dog's heart rate up to dangerous levels, leading to collapse. If you're a smoker, a dropped cigarette can be deadly. Nicotine poisoning causes a crazy heart rate, tremors, and then paralysis. And what about something that seems totally harmless, like cat food? It's not poison, but it is way too high in fat and protein for a dog's system and can cause major stomach issues over time. And finally, dairy. Most adult dogs just can't digest it, so that bowl of milk is probably just going to lead to an upset stomach and diarrhea. Okay, I know we have just walked through a whole lot of scary stuff. It can feel really overwhelming, but this knowledge, it's not meant to scare you, it's meant to empower you. This last section isn't about what you can't do. It's all about what you can do, starting this very second.
to make your home the safe place your best friend deserves. I want you to really remember this. Sometimes this is what love means. It means saying no. It means being stronger than those pleading puppy dog eyes. It means understanding that not giving them that piece of your food is not mean. It's an act of deep, profound love. It is the ultimate form of protection. You are choosing their health and their life over a quick little treat. So what's your plan? It's pretty simple, really. First, feed them a high-quality dog food. It's made just for them. Second, just be careful. Keep human food put away and out of reach. Don't leave your dinner plate where they can get to it. Third, if you want to give them rewards, use treats made specifically for dogs. Fourth, dog-proof your house. Get trash cans with lids that lock, maybe even put child-proof latches on the pantry if your dog is a little too smart for his own good. And finally, and this one is so important, make sure everyone who comes into your house knows the rules. Family, friends, guests, they all need to be on the same page. You are their guardian. You're their whole world. By understanding these dangers, you've taken the biggest step you can make to make sure they live a long, happy, and healthy life with you. Love dogs? Hit that subscribe button and join Charlie's Paw family. More tips, tricks, and adorable moments are coming your way. Don't miss out. Subscribe now.